It's Christmas, and St Paul's Cathedral is gearing up for the busiest time of the year. With tens of thousands of visitors expected to attend an extraordinary array of special Christmas events, the pressure's on for the team, tasked with making it all happen.
We use a lot more wafers at Christmas. I think last year we had about 2,000 wafers ready.
Happy Christmas.
From the clergy who lead the worship,
We have so many big events in a very small period of time.
to the world-class choristers,
I'm not tired, okay? So don't try and tell me I am.
to the cathedral's 150-strong workforce.
No, other way, no, take the tension off.
It's a little stressful. Everyone's come to hear celebrities read, and there's no celebrities.
My Strictly Come Dancing glitter balls.
For the first time, we've been allowed behind the scenes to film the countdown to Christmas, from the beginning of December right up to the big day itself.
And Jonathan. Is Jonathan here?
This is St Paul's Cathedral as you've never seen it before. It's the 1st of December, and the clock is ticking for Canon Michael Hampel, the man responsible for running Christmas at St Paul's.
St Paul's is a really busy place, but of course at Christmas it gets even busier. We have so many big events in a very small period of time, big services with 2,000 to 3,000 people almost every other day, and we have to get everything turned around, ready for the next one.
Canon Michael and his team have 17 spectacular services and events to stage, and they've been meeting since early October to ensure that everything goes to plan.
We tell the police about our Christmas services. Good. They can come to it, isn't it? OK, then we have the carol service, full house, lots and lots of people. Doors open at 6, organ strikes up at 6:25.
The Christmas planning meeting has a sense of Christmas starts here, I suppose.
And then we reopen for midnight mass. We need the piano, we need the organ, the Christmas flower arrangements ordered by the vergers.
Everybody will go away from this meeting with a huge amount of things that they've then got to do. It's full steam ahead to Christmas Day.
And it all starts on Saturday the 2nd of December with the first of our 2 Advent processions.
OK, so shall we start at the very beginning?
Yes.
Yes, a very good place to start.
Advent begins on the 4th Sunday before Christmas and is marked by 2 candlelit processions.
There's a Bible reading from here facing east. It's candles.
Candles first.
Choir.
That's right, yes.
Up. Then
Yes.
we move.
Yes.
And we're going across the dais. Clergy
Yes.
here. Choir. Reading.
The ritual may have its origins in the Middle Ages, but for Canon Michael and Dean's Verger Charles Williams, it poses a modern-day logistical challenge.
That does look complicated to me, doesn't it? I'd rather we did it that if we're walking in 2s,
Yep.
the people on the left go there and the people on the right go there, because then they can come back together again when we next move. I think that's better, isn't it?
Yes.
The bottom line is that Charles and I have to know all of this kind of in our heads, so that at any moment somebody can turn to us and say, I'm sorry, I've forgotten what you said, and we've got to be able to tell them, preferably without scrabbling around looking for our notes. It's just all there.
Heralding the start of the Christmas season, a crack team from the Church of England Flower Arrangers Association has been given just a few hours to create the Advent wreath.
Right, so could we move this one further along, please? This is not a job for tall people now. This is originally an old bell wheel from the belfry up here in St Paul's Cathedral. I think now we could begin to put more of the rosemary in and the holly.
Everything they use has a meaning. The evergreens symbolise eternal life.
And now, just a little bit of red.
while the red berries represent the blood of Christ.
It's quite a prestigious job. St Paul's Cathedral, after all.
That's great. Well, well done, everybody. Thank you very much.
Morph, can you get your hair down, please? Right, OK, boys, please don't wipe your mouths with your surplices.
It's a gruelling schedule for Director of Music Andrew Carwood and the 26 choristers that make up the Cathedral Choir. They have 30 services to perform in the next 25 days. And today, they have an additional challenge, a promotional photo shoot.
OK, don't look at the camera, boys. Stop talking, boys, please. Lucian, will you please face the right way? Moving around like a load of penguins. OK, I'm looking for a straight line, boys.
Do you like days like this?
No, I'd rather do the music.
What's it like being a chorister?
How should I explain this? Fun at times. Well, yeah, just generally fun.
The choristers board at the Cathedral School, beginning at 8 years old and finishing around 13 when their voices change.
Do you ever get scared about singing in front of lots of people?
Not really. Unless it's like a big solo, and that's really scary. So we've got an hour and a half rehearsal, and then we go for more rehearsal, and then it's evensong. Then we go to bed.
Also feeling the pressure are the cathedral's vergers. It's the day of the Advent Procession, and Deputy Head Verger, Esther Anstis, has just a few hours to get everything ready.
We sort of act as stage managers for this sort of thing. So we make sure that if you were to think of it as a theatre, today we're getting the costumes ready, we're getting the props ready, we're getting the scripts ready, which is probably the next thing I'm going to do is put service papers into choir for the candle bearers. Candles are lit at the beginning of each Eucharist service through Advent on Sundays, and the last candle, the white one in the center there, is lit at the midnight Eucharist on Christmas Eve. This one's a small, that one's a large, so that one's for the Dean. Beautiful copes. They're blue for Advent. And tonight they're using candles, so we've got candles already trimmed for them. These are incense grains. You put them on hot charcoal and they create the most marvelous smoke. And it's tree sap that's been spiced with many, many various spices. We're going to be hiding behind the high altar and make as much smoke as we possibly can. It's going to be great.
Hidden away in the cathedral's crypt, Director of Music Andrew Carwood is putting the choristers through their paces just hours before the Advent Procession.
Out. He's gone up with a what? Oh, a shout. He's gone up with a shout. You've gone all posh.
With over 40 hours of rehearsals in December alone, being a chorister is a full-time job.
And it's got to have a big shirt on, otherwise it's not a shout.
The rehearsals are essentially fully professional in the way they're run, because that's what we aspire to in performance, and that's what we're trying to achieve. We also work with the pressure, of course, that it's St Paul's Cathedral, so it always has to be excellent.
Sing! Hugh, you've got to sing the last bar of 9 and the first 3 bars of 10 from memory.
Sometimes you have to apply a bit of pressure, and that's often towards the end of a rehearsal, and because they're just starting to switch off a bit, and they've been singing for an hour. And if something's not going well, that's not acceptable in my mind. That's just something they need to fix.
OK, I will explode if you do not get your fingers on that chant and sing the right note. Have you ever seen a choir master explode? Yeah. Yes, good. Get dressed as quickly as you can, please.
How long do you have?
About 2 minutes.
2,500 people are expected to attend tonight's Advent Procession. For Canon Michael, having such a large congregation provides an ideal opportunity to return to his theatrical roots.
It plays to my strengths as somebody who likes to devise and create special events. I spent a lot of my youth on the amateur theatre stage. My favourite Shakespeare role, I think, was Polonius in Hamlet. In light opera, I think that my favourite role was Pooh Bah in The Mikado. When I announced that I wanted to be ordained, several of my friends said, oh, well, it's still like going on stage, but just in a different way.
Tonight's Advent Procession is led by the Cathedral's most senior clergyman, the Dean, David Ison.
In the name of God, who has delivered us from the dominion of darkness and made a place for us in the kingdom of his beloved Son, we welcome you.
Advent is about preparation for the birth of Christ, so preparation for Christmas. But actually it has an even more profound meaning than that, because it's also about preparation for when we will ourselves stand in the presence of Christ. I think a satisfying act of worship is where people have been inspired by what they've experienced, but haven't quite noticed how complicated the liturgy is. If they noticed all the joins, I think we've failed. Only we should know the intricacies and the complications. They should simply experience a seamless garment which wraps them in prayer and praise.
Rejoice, 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 rejoice,
Esther is used to early mornings. She grew up on a dairy farm in Canada.
I would say my favorite shifts are the early shifts. It's quite special to come into the building at 6:30 in the morning when it's completely empty and just be in that space by yourself for a little while. Watch the sun come in the east window. Christmas is a time that the cathedral pulls together to do a lot at once. I trained as a high school teacher and a paramedic in Canada. And all of those paths sort of led to this. I wish I'd known 10 years ago this is what I should do. It's the best job in the world for me. I love it. It's hard and it's complicated and frustrating sometimes, but it's rewarding and it's astonishing and it's beautiful.
The present St. Paul's is actually the 5th cathedral to occupy this site. Designed by Sir Christopher Wren after the Great Fire of London destroyed its predecessor, it took 35 years to build, cost the equivalent of £80 million, and was finally completed in 1710.
This is Wren's great model to show the king what he wanted to build. It's not at all what this building looks like, but you can certainly see a suggestion of St. Paul's there. You can see right down the nave, and you can see all of the detail on the inside. So you can see the arches and the tops of the columns and the little architraves above all of the doors. It's not just our history, it's the nation's history.
St Paul's has been charging tourists for entry since it opened. And this Christmas, the cathedral will welcome over 45,000 people through its doors.
You can come in. Do you mind taking that off, please, sir? No. I should have sent you back.
One of the important things for us at St Paul's is the concept of welcome. We have those enormous front doors, and metaphorically we want to open them as wide as we can to people of all different backgrounds and different experiences of life. Cathedrals are big enough to hold people who are very committed to their faith and people who are not sure. I often say cathedrals have lots of shadows that the hesitant can sort of loiter in. People dancing on the edges of faith. And our attempt in cathedrals is to encourage people, if they wish, to move a little further into the centre and make more of a commitment to their faith if they wish to.
Hello, how are you? Okay. Nice to meet you, darling. Hello. Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well.
This is one of my friends. Hello. How are you?
Phyllis Bankala is one of the cathedral's longest-serving worshippers. Originally from Nigeria, Phyllis first came to St Paul's in 1956.
Good to see you. Nice to see you.
Phyllis, you know everyone here.
Not everyone.
How often do you come to St Paul's, Phyllis?
Every Sunday. If I don't travel, because I do go on holidays, you know. Apart from that, every Sunday, this is my second home. My spiritual home. Oh, Christmas here. Oh, it's very nice. All of us are very happy. The atmosphere is glorious. And since I started coming here, St. Paul's Cathedral has been very kind to me.
Today, to mark more than 60 Christmases at St Paul's, Phyllis has been given a special honour.
I'm here to light the Advent candle, so I'm so excited, and I thank God for helping me to be here today.
There are just 13 days to go before Christmas. And in a tradition that dates back to the Queen's grandfather, George V, the Crown Estate at Windsor have provided the cathedral with 3 Norway spruces. These 25-footers might be a royal gift, but not everyone's happy.
They're normal length, but they do look quite fat. So, yeah, we just got to go through a window. And that's the thing. So once we get it up there, we'll see if it'll go through the window.
The trees need to be up in time for the next big service in the St Paul's Christmas Countdown, the celebration of Christmas. A carol concert with an orchestra, celebrity readers, and over 2,000 guests. It's the glitziest event in the St Paul's Christmas calendar.
We're all set for a big carol concert on the evening of Thursday, the 14th of December. There's a briefing of ushers and wandsmen over the page. Lots of instruments arriving via the North Transept. Readers' rehearsal, James, this is your event, isn't it? Is the times look right to you? Yeah,
absolutely fine, yes.
Father James Milne has been tasked with recruiting the celebrity readers.
This is now over 2,000 people at this, so let's treat it as one of our biggies. Toilets. Oh, my goodness. Have we got enough?
Father James has been the cathedral's sacrist for 3 years.
This is where the magic happens. So Sue sets all the orders of service here. This is my desk here with something from my train set in the corner. Our new minister gave me this wonderful jelly belly machine. Because I'm rather greedy, I've eaten all the jelly beans.
Father James has been stalking celebrities for the past 12 weeks, and his efforts are beginning to pay off.
We have, in alphabetical order, Sheila Hancock, CBE, Emily Watson, OBE, And then we have one more TBC.
TBC, OBE. I was most excited last year because Benedict Cumberbatch came and I was able to have a cup of tea with him. That's made me excited enough for like 3 decades. So I'm quite a happy bunny.
We have biographies of the readers. So if we can put all of the things she's been in italic.
Sweeney Todd, Annie, Sister Act.
Sister Act.
It's an eclectic mix. Cenopod and Carry On Cleo.
Emily Watson. She played Jacqueline Dupre in the film Hilary and Jackie. Great, excellent. The real kind of anxiety is getting the readers in the first place, making sure we have them all.
And you've done that?
Pretty much, not completely. We're still looking for one more reader.
With 30 choristers, 12 adult singers, and a 40-piece orchestra at his disposal, choosing the carols for the big concert is a huge responsibility. But fortunately, music maestro Andrew Carwood has privileged access to one of the cathedral's hidden treasures, the 22,000 historic books and manuscripts held in the library.
I've come to the library to look through some of the past music lists which the choir has sung, just to see what carols they were doing and just a little bit of inspiration as well. It's interesting to see that they were doing some things which have really fallen out of favour now. So we've got a carol here called On Asia Minor's Sunny Shore. That's not really become a bestseller in the 21st century. But we can see all of the things which we love very much now. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, O Little Town of Bethlehem. We now have the tradition that your carol service really has to start with a child's voice, singing the first verse of Once in Royal David City. And of course, your heart's in your mouth almost. It's the moment, it's all starting. Mrs. Alexander, who wrote those words, she didn't like children being bored during services. I suspect it's been an age-old problem. She writes words children can get, so that she doesn't talk down to them at all. And I suspect that's partly why we have a bit of a love affair with that carol, because it reminds us of being children a little bit.
There's fierce competition for the prestigious Christmas solo, and senior chorister Benjamin is in the running. At 12, it'll be his last Christmas at St. Paul's and his last chance to sing the solo.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
Well, it's such a beautiful carol, and I think it's at so many major events, especially here, that everyone sort of regards it as once in a while. Yeah, so it's quite exciting.
Nice and easy, boys.
You can't have a carol concert without Christmas trees, and the trees need to be winched into place after the cathedral's close for the night.
Send her down.
Each tree weighs more than a ton, and hauling them onto a balcony 55 feet up means there's no room for error.
Hold on. Whoa. More, a bit more. That's it, we're in. Go on, Tom, go through. Go through. 2, 3. That's it, right. Well done, boys. Right, guys, on 3. 1. Down it goes. 3, 2, 1. Just ease it in. Don't let it. Hold up. No, don't stay there. Nice and easy. Whoa, no. We need to.
Don't be letting it go, though.
Come on, keep the tension on it. Hang on. No, we want more. We want more tension. No, other way. No, take the tension off.
Less tension.
Perfect here, mate. Absolutely perfect.
At the 11th hour, Father James has had a breakthrough with his third celebrity reader.
I've just heard today that Michael Palin thinks he's free. So I heard that this morning, so hopefully all will be well. Hi, Pim, how are you? I was just wondering if you'd had a chance to speak with Mr. Palin and whether he might read. That's fantastic. Oh, that makes me very happy. OK, bye, Pim, bye. Very good news. Mr. Palin is able to read, which makes me very happy.
With all his celebrity readers now booked, Father James is taking a well-earned chance to unwind.
This is my model railway, which I am building. It's by no means finished, but it's coming along. I started building this when I arrived at St Paul's. It's a new venture, a new layout.
For Father James, church life started early. He was a chorister at Edinburgh Cathedral.
When I was a chorister, there was the cathedral was very close to Haymarket Station in Edinburgh. We used to go down in between practices and watch the trains go by. I think when it's finished, I'm going to have a grand opening. Being spiritual doesn't necessarily mean having to be very serious and poker-faced. In fact, the Christian faith talks about our life in heaven as being like a great big party. And if we think about what we're like at parties, sometimes we can be a little silly, sometimes we wear strange outfits, but they're still serious events.
It's the day of the celebration of Christmas concert. St Paul's benefits from a long association with the City of London. The concert is funded by one of London's oldest banks, and each chorister receives individual sponsorship from one of the city's livery companies. Now, they're about to discover who's getting the solo.
When you're rewarding solos, you have to make sure you give the right child the right thing. So it's horses for courses, really. What we're going to do now is rehearse Once in Royal David City. OK, so the solo today is going to be Benjamin. Thank you very much.
It's just, phew, you sort of think, gosh, OK, I've got to start working my socks off. OK, this is big. Yeah, it's work time, big work time. And I think it's just a moment of complete surrealness, because you think, wow, I'm actually doing this.
Father James has just 45 minutes to meet and rehearse his celebrity readers before the doors are open to the public.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
It's very cold, so...
Yes. Yeah. Still, I'm sure it'll be cold inside as well.
Well, we've...
Churches normally are.
They are, and bizarrely...
It can feel a little surreal. There are people you've not met before, but they're somehow strangely familiar to you. You can't quite believe that you're standing speaking to this person who's famous, who's a celebrity, but you're there and you've got a job to do and you just need to get on and do what you need to do.
Friends, I'm sorry to be a pain, but can I encourage you to exit? That would be really helpful.
For Michael Palin's reading, Father James has chosen something close to his heart, a passage from Laurie Lee's Cider with Rosie.
Choristers are going to actually sing this.
Oh, right. Oh, well, that's very good to know.
So what they'll do is if you just sang, and then they'll just... Because we just thought it'd be really nice to hear their voices.
Yes, I mean, I can't sing.
No.
So just as we started singing, we were all moved by the words and the sudden trueness of our voices. Pure, very clear and breathless, we sang.
And then they'll sing.
Shall I shut up there?
Yes,
let them sing,
yeah, they'll sing those two verses and then just carry on with And 2000 Christmases.
Yeah, OK. I get a little bit cynical about Christmas, and I think, oh, gosh, I've got to get all those cards, and I'm going to be... I have to buy this, that, and the other, which you don't really need, and there's a great pile of last year's Christmas presents still to be disposed of and all that sort of thing. And then, you know, actually, the communal aspect of Christmas I do rather like. I mean, I quite like the fact that it is Christmas that brings an event like this together. I think I'd miss it if they made it every other year, which was my plan at one time. They said we should have Christmas on alternate years, and they'll all recover then.
I think St Paul's at Christmas is culmination of everything that we do. We have the music, we have the organ, we have the drama. They're great celebrations, wonderful spectacles. Everything that we do best, and I think we're aware that we're able to participate in something that's very special. People will come to celebrate Christmas. Perhaps it's their only visit, and it's so important, I think, we can offer something that's memorable to people for the rest of their lives. I'm fine. We've had a lovely tea with our celebrity readers, and that's all gone well. I think it's now just to think about bringing on our readers in a moment.
Stop it, please. Don't do it. Keep going, keep going.
Signatures, remember? Because it's a concert. Signatures. Before a solo, you can go in sort of thinking, what if this goes wrong? And of course, there are times when it does go wrong. I'm a perfectionist, I think. I don't really know if that's something to be proud of, but I want it to go well. And I think if I start thinking, oh, no, what if that happens? Or what if this goes wrong? Or that's quite hard, so I might not be able to do it. If you overthink it, then you could have a nervous breakdown, to be honest. You've got to put your mind over the matter and just push on and get through it. Once in royal David's city stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. That mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child.
The week before Christmas, when the snow seemed to lie thickest, was the moment for carol singing. Everything was quiet. Everywhere there was the faint crackling silence of the winter night. We started singing, and we were all moved by the words and the sudden trueness of our voices. Pure, very clear and breathless, we sang.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings, good tidings, good tidings we bring.
I was nervous, certainly at the beginning. Quite a few people were staring, so it's quite hard just to sort of, I don't know if they were staring because it was good, bad, and you can't make the judgment at the time because you've just got to focus on what you're doing. But I loved it. It was my last opportunity I would have to sing it, and so I grasped it and enjoyed it. Indiana, can I borrow a pencil? Because I'm foolish enough not to bring mine. Thank you very much. I shall return it. So we are very lucky because we get the opportunity to meet the celebrity readers, and they sign our orders of service for us, which is very good of them.
There we are.
It was beautiful reading. Thank
Well
you
done
very
on your
much.
solo as well.
Thank
It was
you.
beautiful.
Yeah, I loved the reading. It was fabulous.
Well
it was
done.
It was
Well
fabulous
done.
from you. It was lovely. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's wonderful. It's right in a building like this, hearing that little simple voice. It's just so touching.
We all know those carols so well, but that's part of the fun, isn't it?
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye, thank you very much.
Thank you. I just have to
I think that's gone well. I'm very relieved. I'm really relieved. It's been a great celebration. So there's a dinner now, and I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to have a glass of wine, which I'm very much looking forward to. So, there we are. Take care.
It's just over a week until Christmas Day, and the Cathedral's works team are on a mission.
Hamley's, mate, was mental, mate. Went Friday. Spent an absolute fortune, see Santa. Get out of the way. Shepherd with the crook. He's over there, mate. He ain't come out. He comes out after.
There's been a nativity scene at St Paul's since the 1930s, but the tradition goes back to 13th century Italy, when St Francis of Assisi staged one using real people and live animals.
If you put your ass over there, Lee. That's it. Ready? Yeah, go on. Oh, he's gone heavy on the Christmas dinner and all. Sorry, Mary. You in?
Well done. Brilliant job. Thanks very much. Thanks, Lee.
There's a close association between St Paul's and the Islington Centre for Refugees and Migrants, many of whom take part in the special Christmas services.
People do come to St Paul's because they are lonely. Everybody thinks that what you do at Christmas is get together with family. So if there are people missing, that loss, that absence is amplified or enlarged.
For West African-born Kofi, St Paul's has been a lifeline.
Sometimes difficult for me because my family is far from me, far away. My wife, my daughter, we are not in UK with me. When I get home, I feel a little bit alone. Sometimes when you wake up, you are completely broken, your mind's low, your body is painful. My simple help us and help the center. Keep going, yeah. Keep hope and keep going.
He's an expert at it. We might not be able to answer their needs materially there and then, but one hopes that for the duration of the liturgy, they're able to be in a different kind of family, which is the family of faith.
Amidst the busyness of today's festivities, there are memories of another Christmas at the Cathedral. It was at this time during the Blitz that St Paul's became a symbol of resilience for Londoners. Although contrary to popular belief, it didn't survive the bombing unscathed.
So this is the high altar before a bomb fell through between the disc that you see there, the little dome, and the arch. It just came right through there and crashed and completely destroyed the marble around the high altar. This is the north transept, and again, this is another place where a bomb came through probably right down the center, I think. And in fact, the entire floor beneath us disappeared. It just completely collapsed.
After the war, extensive repair work saw the construction of a new high altar, pulpit, and stained glass windows. And today, even with Christmas just around the corner, maintenance work continues on the decaying balustrades that surround the dome.
Bit more, keep it upright. That's it. Bit more. Right, you've got to come round to Lee's side, this corner here.
I'm just basically sponging down to make it look neat. The other side for the pigeons. They're the worst creature to have on this building, pigeons.
Well, they just poo on everything, and obviously their poo's acidic.
When you've got carvings...
Lots of stonework.
We've had pigeon spikes on this building, and somehow they still get around it.
There's less than a week to go before Christmas Day, and Father James needs to check the cathedral's vestments are in prime condition before midnight mass and the big Christmas Day service.
We're in the kennel, which is where all our copes are kept. We have them for all occasions. and it kind of adds to the feeling of celebration. I say when we go to a party, we put on party clothes. They might sometimes look a bit ridiculous, but they give the sense of, you know, the grandeur of the occasion. Some of them are quite kind of sort of from the 70s, they're sort of space age and psychedelic. I'm not quite sure it's to current taste. I'm looking for the George V coats, which these were made in 1935 for George V's Silver Jubilee. And we wear them particularly at royal occasions, but also at Christmas. Inevitably, there's a bit of wear and tear, but they are spectacular, I think. You can just see how little threads just work themselves loose. We take them to the broiderers who can kind of refix them. This is the geometric staircase, which was built to take people up to the Cathedral library, and it's been used in numerous films, like The Madness of King George, and also in the Harry Potter films. I always feel a little nervous going up these stairs, because apparently the steps just go 4 inches into the wall. So I'm always glad when I reach the top. Good morning, ladies.
Oh, good morning, James.
I have a little project for you.
It's the George V's, everybody. Yay! Lucky girls.
Tucked away in the bell tower is the cathedral's team of volunteer embroiderers, known as the broiderers.
There's a reference to embroiderers in the Bible in Exodus, and those embroiderers made the borders for the priest's robes. So I think broiderer and border maker are kind of sort of intertwined. The early days of St. Paul's, all around by the ancient medieval church, there were embroidery workshops. And then you got the dissolution of the monasteries, and all this was cast aside. And then there was a revival of vestments in the 19th century. And so these all sort of came back into use. So this is the Bishop of London's mitre. So each of these little flowers takes a day to embroider. The forget-me-nots represent Virgin Mary.
We have a lot of fun here. I've been here for 11 years now, but I was a fingerprint officer.
A fingerprint officer?
Yeah.
What did that involve?
At Scotland Yard. Fingerprints. Fingerprints.
I was born and bred in Adelaide in South Australia, and they have an annual big agricultural show that covers the whole state that does all sorts of things. I did the ironing competition and I won it, and I was the grand old age of 11 when I did so. And the prize that I got was a steam iron, which had only just been invented.
It's the 21st of December, but Benjamin and the other choristers won't get to go home until after the Christmas Day service in 4 days' time. So family visits are important. Tonight, Benjamin's mum, Ruth, has come to see him perform in a modern Christmas classic, Britain's A Ceremony of Carols.
Mighty heart, young Jesus sweet, prepare thy cradle in my spirit, and I shall rock it in my heart, and never from thee.
Just incredibly proud, amazed, almost disbelieving, I think, because that's your little boy doing that. I don't think I could stand up in front of 2,000 people and look so calm. And it's his job to him, it's what he does, and he quite happily gets on with it.
Sing that we shall sing that we shall and sing that we
There's just 48 hours before Christmas Day, and the team at St. Paul's are feeling the pressure. Canon Michael is putting the finishing touches to the big Christmas Day service, and he's asked Father James and Esther to run midnight mass, which takes place on Christmas Eve.
I think there's always been the idea that Jesus was sort of born on the stroke of midnight. I think there's that sort of sense. And I think it's a sense that we're remembering it at the very moment it happened.
With over 1,000 worshippers expected to receive communion, Esther needs to ensure they have enough consecrated wine and wafers for all tastes.
We use a lot more wafers at Christmas. I think last year we had about 2,000 wafers ready, about 200, 150 wafers in each Saboria, and then we put 45 plus a few gluten-free just in case.
Esther, what happens if you run out?
We'll have a few more Saboria counted out, which is really above and beyond what we'd ever need, with a set of consecration words next to them, and we'll find a priest, drag them into the sacristy, we'll do a bit more of a consecration of the wafers and wine. Yeah, there's another 200. We would rather over-cater than under-cater for something like this.
Wafers counted, readings chosen, and music rehearsed, the clergy finally have a moment for their own Christmas preparations.
Christmas chic. My Strictly Come Dancing glitter balls, which I got in the January sales one year, so saved a bit of money. And they're great fun, so I'll put those on first. Sound like Kirsty Allsop doing all this. And make sure there are some for people to see through the window so that they can be envious that my tree's better than theirs.
I have one rule, that every decoration I have must go on the tree. These ones I got in the palace in Jodhpur in Rajasthan in India. This one's from Scotland, bonny Scotland, where my heart is. All of the decorations, they all tell a story. It reminds you of things you've done, trips you've taken, places you've been. As a child, we always had a real one. That was the thing. We always had a real Christmas tree.
Mine's an artificial tree, which of course everybody's very scornful of, but it saves me money.
Senior clergy are expected to live on site. For the duration of their tenure, this is where they call home.
I used to have 2 cats who sadly died now, but of course for them this was one of the greatest moments of the year because they were absolutely convinced that the whole business of putting the tree up and playing with all these sorts of decorations was entirely for their benefit. That was my black cat Zadok, and that was my sort of tabby cat Adobe, so I can remember them, bless them. Oh.
This is my favourite bauble. We had a cat called Minu who died a couple of years ago, aged 18 and a half. And we got given this bauble with her name on. I suppose it's like a reflection of life itself. It's a little bit messy, but it looks fabulous.
I think mine gets seen more, quite right too.
It's just a few hours before midnight mass, and the choristers are cramming in one last rehearsal.
What we do here is so fabulously rigorous and so proper and formal. The boarding house is a completely different place where you just sort of let your hair down, relax, and be a child.
It's long been a Christmas tradition for the choristers to decorate their dorms on Christmas Eve. It helps them stay awake until midnight mass.
Christmas here is fabulous, actually. I was really worried when it came to my first Christmas. It's going to be horrible, I'm not going to be at home. And I still think, oh, I'm not at home. But actually, we've got a lovely tree, we've got lights, we've got sparkle, and everybody really comes together and we all have a great time. I've actually brought in loads of stuff from home this year. So I've got stockings and little hats, electric tea lights, some tinsel, wreath to go on the door, because that's what we do at home.
But for Benjamin's mum, Ruth, it's a bittersweet time of year.
You do miss them. You know, we miss them all the time. It's kind of, you know, even though it's normal for him not to be here, you know, and when he goes back after the holidays, the house seems very quiet. I think he's found it hard at times, but there are also bits of it that are really fun and that he loves.
Midnight Mass is always a huge crowd puller, and this year the queues are going round the block.
So we're still an hour and a quarter to go before service starts, but there are already hundreds of people here who are keen to get a good seat. I love Midnight Mass. It's a great celebration. There's something extraordinary about gathering in the middle of the night when normally you're asleep. Crumbs, you know, will I make it through? And then the excitement just grows, and you're part of this wonderful celebration.
Midnight Mass is one of the most sacred events in the Christmas calendar.
All glory and honour be yours always and everywhere, mighty Creator, ever-living God.
Although that significance may be lost on some.
The shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks on that first Christmas night, perhaps had a campfire or a lamp, but fundamentally their night world was dark.
All I want now is just my bed. I just want to sleep.
I'm not tired, okay? So don't try and tell me I am, because I'm not.
I can't wait to go home. Finally. Home.
The climax of months of intensive planning and hard graft has finally arrived.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Are you excited? Yeah!
With less than 6 hours sleep, the choristers are running on pure adrenaline.
So we've all got suitcases, which I assume are for the tour to America. So we have St. Paul's Cathedral, none other than. So that will remind us of home when we're across the globe.
But after opening their presents, the choristers still have a full day's work ahead of them.
Yay! It's Christmas, and the good thing about Christmas is that you get Cocoa Pops, because we never, ever get Cocoa Pops. And today we're getting Cocoa Pops. I love Cocoa Pops.
It's the biggest show of the year. Over 100 St. Paul's clergy and staff will be working today. And it's up to Canon Michael to ensure that everything goes according to plan.
This is Christmas Day. A lot of the people might be coming to us for the first time. They might be visiting London and will never be able to come to us again. And we don't want them to go away having had, you know, something that hasn't been quite as spectacular as it should be. And we've no excuse at St. Paul's. We're blessed with so many wonderful resources and such professional people. Our acts of worship, and particularly on Christmas Day, should be tip-top, inspiring and fulfilling.
Well, you can see we're starting to fill up. We've got lots of people coming in, and the wandsmen are bopping away out there, getting everyone into their seats with a service paper and a gift aid envelope. So it's all happening.
And everybody is so happy. We're joyful. The best day, you know, in the year that all of us are very, very happy.
Over 10,000 people will pass through the cathedral today. And ever the showman, Canon Michael wants to ensure that everyone on his team hits their marks.
Simon, if you could take the head, and Helen behind. There we are. And Jonathan. Is Jonathan here? Was. Maybe he's next to the loo. Is Jonathan around? Jonathan, the treasurer.
A very warm welcome to St Paul's Cathedral for this service as we celebrate together the birth of Christ. We're delighted that you can join us in this house of prayer for all nations as we give thanks to God and rejoice that he came among us in human form.
There will be people of a whole variety of different nationalities, backgrounds, types, and that lovely cosmopolitan feel, I think, makes Christmas very real, because Christmas isn't about England or London. It's about the birth of Christ, the Prince of Peace, coming to the world, the whole world.
To us a child is born, to us a son is given. Let us pray for the people he came to save.
We've been working through the year in so many different services, some very poignant, some very joyful. And we come to Christmas, and it's just a great celebration of everything we do.
And the peace of the Christ child be yours this Christmas. And the blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be among you and remain with you always. Amen.
Christmas at St Paul's has come to an end. Exhausted, elated, and with a month's worth of festive services under their belts, the team can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Quite tired. I think probably a bit shell-shocked by the end of it, but I'm really, really pleased with how it went.
I think it's gone all right. It's gone very well. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm very much looking forward to spending the rest of the day with my family and having something nice to eat.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
There you go. Enjoy. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you very much.
It's now time for a well-earned rest and a chance for the team to celebrate Christmas together at the Cathedral School.
Hello, everyone. Happy Christmas. Are you enjoying your Christmas day? Are you having a nice lunch? And you've opened some of your presents, have you?
The girls have had their stockings.
One of the great things about working closely with people 365 days a year is that it reminds us that we're a family. And I think that family feel comes out especially in the work that we do together at Christmas, particularly on Christmas Day, as we work alongside each other to stage our telling of the Christmas story here at St Paul's.